Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Brew for Two podcast. I'm your host, Brad, along with my co-host, Derek.
Yeah.
This is another remote edition. We're doing this over Google Meets because, well, the stay-at-home order has not been lifted yet, but it soon will be in about
the
three,
9th. Yeah. Well,
4 days.
2 days when this goes up, but 3 days right now for us because it's Saturday right now, the 6th, I believe.
Yeah,
and
yep.
the order is gone on the 9th, so at least it better be. Kids are going back to school. There's no reason that we can't go back to normal life a little bit.
I think it's too early for the kids to be going back to school. And this is a person who works for a school board.
I don't think you should go back to school at all. I think you should keep doing the online thing, but
yeah, I think it's too early. I understand parents want to get back to work themselves.
Problem is nothing's open. Like, that's the thing. Like, the kids are going back to school, nothing is opening. So it's like it doesn't really affect anybody.
No, but I understand some parents want to get back to work and they don't want to work from home anymore. It's basically the working from home, and some kids can't learn online. Some kids work better in the school setting. So
yeah.
And but as a person who works in the school board, I think it's still too early.
Yeah.
Because the corona, because there's a new strand of the virus out.
There's 15 new strands of it. They gotta pick one, because there's the African strain, there's the UK strain, there's a bunch of fucking other ones. So there's a bunch of other ones, and it's so contagious that, and they're implementing testing for schools, like the thermometer test or whatever. That doesn't do
anything. And no, the thermometer test doesn't do anything.
You could have a hat on for a little bit and it'd be warm outside.
I could be clammy. I could come to work clammy.
Yeah.
But as long as my body temperature reads 37.5 or 37.6, which is regular body temperature, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're fine." Even if I don't look fine and my body temperature reads 37.6, they'll say, which is average, they say I'll be fine. But now they're implementing "Oh, you have to wear your mask at all times now," where it's how are we going to enforce this?
If the kids don't want to do it, they get kicked out of school. That's as simple as that. If they're not they're going to refuse to wear their masks, okay, well, their parents get called in, and if their parents say, "Well, we don't want him wearing a mask, and he has trouble breathing in it," he's a child, or she's a child, whatever, then they get sent home and they don't come to school. That's and if they they don't want to do that, then that's their own problem. They got to figure out, because that would be the only way around it. To either it's enforced for everybody or it's enforced for nobody.
Exactly. Have you heard that they're thinking about canceling March break?
Kids haven't been in school anyways. They've been on March break since fucking March last year. So
well, they've been learning online. It's different.
But 90% of the kids are in school 2 days a week.
Kids are in school 5 days a week. They're learning online 5 days a week.
Well, learning online, yes. They're in school for an hour? Because that's what you do with your kids, right?
No.
No,
it's when last year when I was doing the 30 minutes for each kid. When I was doing that last year, I was doing 30 minutes for each kid, and that's because nobody really knew how to do online learning yet. Nobody knew how to do that yet. Now it's the teacher does one big Google Meet.
Yeah.
And from 8:50 to 10 o'clock, then they have a recess break. Then from 10:35, they're back on the Google Meet till 11:20, around 11:15, 11:20, and then that's their lunch, and then they're back on the Google Meet at 12, and then they're there until the next recess, and then they get another break, and then they're back at 1-ish, and then 2, and then by 2:50 they're done. It's a regular school day. It's still a school day, but it's just an online school day.
I wouldn't even count that as a school day because they're not going anywhere. And if they really wanted to, they could just mute their fucking shit and be like, "I'm gonna play video games while this is on." Like, there's nothing stopping kids doing it, right? It's just so it's like, sort of they want to cancel March break.
Yeah, so that's
they might.
That's the theory of them doing it, but but it's not going to happen, I don't think, because the teacher union is a strong union that they're going to be like, because the teachers are still working, like the kids, yeah, the teachers are still working,
Yeah.
and the ECEs and the EAs, and we are saying that like we need a break. Like we're saying like I was talking to a coworker saying like we need a break because we work with very high needs risk kids.
Oh, I agree.
That
You guys definitely need a break, but the other the teachers, they don't. I'm sorry, but like, you were off for 90% of the fucking year last year.
Yeah,
You don't need a
yeah.
break. Sorry. Like, everyone was home in March. Nobody was really in school. Especially last year. Like, just again, like you said, we didn't know what the hell was going on. So kids weren't in school. Kids weren't even doing online shit. If they were doing online shit, they're doing it by themselves. They weren't doing the Google Meets classrooms. So teachers were off for an entire year almost until a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. And they're saying also to cancel March break because they're not just because of kids being off, to limit social gatherings. That's the reasoning for trying to cancel March break, to limit social gatherings.
nothing's open anyway, so it's not like anybody's going to go anywhere.
And even if people go anywhere, it's just like people are still going to social gather whether you like it or not. Like,
yeah,
because people are fed up right now.
Oh, people are done with this crap. Like, it's been a month of this. They extended it for not really any reason, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
and then if he just
2 weeks turned into 4.
Yeah, and then it's been a month and a half.
Yeah,
if he decides to extend it again, I 10 OBC apparently recently put it. It's like it's indefinite. They're all fucking locked down.
Yeah,
I would be shot. I would be fucking rioting because that's ridiculous. Not indefinite. Like,
well, like, and here's the thing too, we're where the kids are going back to school and lockdown's not even lifted yet.
Yeah,
it's just, that's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. Why send the kids to school when they can be around other children? And I'm sorry, children are dirty fucking little goddamn cretins. Dirty little cretins. They don't wash their hands. They touch their face all the time. They're touching everything.
Oh, so, I know.
Like, and you're gonna send these kids to school, like, and not open up everything else.
People who work with kids or have kids of their own usually build up an immunity.
Yeah.
Because kids are so germy.
Yeah.
That people who work with kids usually get like sick, and like maybe the first month of school they usually come down with a cold, or like this super cold that doesn't go away for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're better, and then they're immune for the rest of the year. Like, just because like kids are super germy and it's super gross. And now they're going back to school before the lockdown's even lifted.
Yeah, this is just stupid. They're literally it's almost like they're fucking planning this to have a spike in cases so they can justify going into another lockdown.
Yeah.
Like, that's just complete conspiracy theory, but like that's what it seems like. Why wouldn't you open everything else on Monday? Why would everything not open on the same day as kids go back to school?
Well, like me and one of the custodians at my school that I work at were saying, like, oh, we were all saying, oh, when do you think schools are going to be open? When do you think schools are going to be open? And I kept saying, I think schools are going to reopen after the long weekend. I think we're going to have one more week of this, and then after the long weekend, we will be back to normal.
Yeah.
And because long weekends are good, because it gives people room to plan and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what my reasoning behind it was. But no, my prediction was a week ahead of when schools are actually going to open in Niagara. As for the rest, the GTA region, they're
not open until like the 25th or something like that, right? Like,
no, they're reopening February 16th, which is the day after the Family Day long weekend. because Valentine's Day is on a Sunday, Family Day is on that Monday, and then the GTA kids are back in school on that Tuesday. So, and yeah, it's anyway. Um, you're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
up some.
Yeah, I was trying to find the exact dates. I thought it was the 25th, but
No, when Stephen Leachy made the announcement, he posted like the Catholic School Board posted, like, oh, like every school is back now, and
yeah.
excluding the GPA, which was back the week after,
Mm.
which I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all.
Yeah, like
Actually,
I said before. Hmm?
I was kind of liking actually just working with my one student there.
Yeah, like I
I was
mean,
kind of liking it because it made my day go by faster. Though I kind of though I'm gonna be happy that a couple of my coworkers who were working from home are now back
hmm,
because a couple of my coworkers were driving me nuts.
yeah.
The coworkers
Oh,
of mine
they
that
had
live,
5 of you in 5 or 6 of you in that school for 2 fucking kids. So like,
um 3. A parent complained so much that she got her kid back in school.
fucking Christ, your
Mm-hmm.
board is a pushover, like straight up. Like that is a fucking pushover. She's complaining about it.
Well,
Sorry, other people have their kids at homes that are also probably very fucking pissed about it.
yeah,
Like, come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, she also has her child is also special spec ed.
She had the kid.
She
It's her kid.
adopted the kid.
Okay, then even better. She adopted the kid. She took on that responsibility. Sorry that your fucking babysitter isn't there right now.
Yeah. So and she kept saying that, oh, my son can't learn online,
Yeah.
which he was able to. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
It's
so
so
that's
dumb.
when you said as soon as you said that, as soon as she said that, you should went to the principal and be like, no, this kid can learn online. She just doesn't want to sit down and do it.
She went over the principal's head.
Well, it's principal
And
school,
then
so
yeah, but it's the principal's school, but the principal gets instructions from the board, right?
well, then you should have said something. But
Like
that's
it's
on his.
every boss has a boss.
Well,
Kind of.
that's on him then because that is his school for all intents and purposes. He runs the
Mm-hmm,
school. The board doesn't.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He fires somebody, they go through him. He hires somebody, it goes through him.
My mom just sent me an interesting text message.
No,
Do you feel like driving down to our place tonight?
yeah, there you go.
I mean, I could for dinner. I have no dinner plans.
Yeah, I mean it's all the way in Paris, Brantford, Bradford.
Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
Paris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you could. Yeah, there you go.
I could. That's an idea. Could listen to a podcast on the way. Not this one
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I don't. I can't listen to our own podcast. I
No,
can't.
I can't either. I listen to it for a few seconds just to make sure the audio kind of sounds all right, and then that's about it. I can't sit and listen to the whole thing.
I just hear the sound of my voice, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's terrifying, right?
I can't even listen to myself on an answering machine. I just can't.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
it always starts off as, "Hey, mom, it's me," which I love when you call, like when you call your mother or something on the house phone, and it's like you say, "Hey, mom, it's me," and then you're just like, "Of course she knows it's you."
Who else is it gonna be?
Who else is gonna be saying, hey, what like I don't have a brother, I just have a sister, like, so
Yeah.
it's there's not gonna be another man's voice on there. um but sad news, starting off the podcast, well, 20 minutes into the
So, yeah,
podcast,
a little late.
sad news, Christopher Plummer has passed away. 91 years old he was, and I forgot that he was Canadian, from Toronto.
I had no idea he was Canadian.
He was a Canadian actor from Toronto. So
I know he's been in a lot of
forgot.
movies, but I don't remember him in really any movies.
So he was the patriarch of the Von Trapp family in The Sound of Music.
Hmm.
That was his one of his big roles. He's been in so many movies that Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, he was the dude in National Treasure and shit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he So he's been in so many things. Wikipedia has a separate article for his filmography.
That's fun. That's actually hilarious.
So yeah, but his most like his notable roles, the patriarch of the Von Trapp family in Sound of Music, whenever that came out,
Long time ago.
long time ago. Uh, he was in. Sorry, I'm drinking water here, and because I find if I drink Pepsi on this podcast or if I drink like beer, my I get dry. I don't get dry mouth per se, but I get, you know, when you drink like a glass of milk and you get that the pasties where you go. I
No,
apologize. No, you never get that.
not with milk. No,
I get that with milk sometimes if I'm not like,
I get it with coffee a lot.
yeah, where
Uh-huh.
you you can't speak well and you're kind of fumbling over the words because your mouth gets like dry.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to drink water on this podcast.
I was gonna grab beer
He
because I
was
still
also
have
in,
that steam whistle that I got. I just need to go outside, but I don't want to go outside and get it now. Too
yeah,
far away.
he was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Uh,
There's a lot of stuff.
he was in a lot of stuff. Most recently, Knives Out.
Yeah, which is a pretty funny movie, pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Dracula 2000.
Yeah.
As, he was Van Helsing in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But his most notable role is from The Sound of Music.
Yeah, 1965. Very, very long time ago.
Captain George Von Trapp, if I'm even pronouncing that right, because also he was in the Return of the Pink Panther movie with Peter Sellers, because this was way before the timing of Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Like Peter Sellers?
Think so? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds right. But rest in peace, Christopher Plummer. You will be missed by your fans. He was hilarious. He was actually a pretty funny actor when in a couple of films. Just played the old man.
100%. Yeah.
We lost somebody else this week too, but I can't remember who. But
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer was the big one though. Also, yesterday marked, I think, was it yesterday? This is a little bit of on this day, but I'm bringing it up and just in case if I forget it. But what was it? I read something yesterday because it popped up on Facebook and I thought it was pretty cool. I know I can go back. Anyway, it's gonna come back when it was like 17 years ago this happened or something like that, and I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna remember it when it comes to me. What day was it? Was it the 5th?
Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday was the 5th.
So hold on. Film releases. No, it wasn't film releases. It wasn't film premieres. No, it wasn't Golden Globes. Oh, I don't know what it was. I saw it and I was like, you know what? This would be a good to say on the podcast, but now I can't remember what it was. It was, yeah, but anyway, but this is episode 66, and with that being said, oh, by the way, I did finish Supernatural.
Yeah.
And I did start my rewatch of Peaky Blinders, starting from season 1. Like the girl I'm talking to, he was, why are you starting at season 1? Well, because I forget what happened. I forget what happened.
If you haven't watched in a while, like you're not just gonna jump back into it, like.
And I started a new series also. Started watching. It's on Netflix. Superstore.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of like, it's a sitcom, kind of like Parks and Rec, kind of like kind of like Parks and Rec, The Office. It's kind of filmed the same way as Parks and Rec, The Office, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's kind of filmed that same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. Parks and Rec. It's kind of filmed the same way as Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where like Parks and Rec and The Office, they're more mockumentary style of filming. Where Brooklyn Nine-Nine is kind of actually it's kind of mockumentary. It started off being like, oh, let's do, Parks and Rec was, The Office was done in the office. Parks and Rec was done in the government building of a Parks and Rec. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the police in Brooklyn, New York. And Superstore is based, like, think of, somebody had the idea of, like, hey, what if we do a sitcom comedy, not even a sitcom. It's just like a comedy, based around Walmart employees.
They did that. It was called Employee of the Month.
Yeah, but yeah, but
we did a movie of it already.
There is a movie of it, but this is a TV show. This is a TV show called Superstore, and kind of, if Employee of the Month was a TV series that lasted 6 seasons and then got canceled after season 6.
Okay.
Think it got canceled, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's kind of like that, where it follows this young guy. He's kind of cool. He kind of makes work fun. Everybody loves him. He's kind of the personable kind of guy.
Yeah.
And it's an easy watch too, because the episodes are only 20 minutes, so I can get through a huge season in about a day. Because like 20-minute episodes, I can get through a season of 20-minute episodes in a day usually. However, sometimes I get fatigued with the 20-minute episodes. Sometimes I know with the 70s show, like some of those episodes dragged on, and I couldn't fit, even though those episodes are 22 minutes, some of those episodes dragged on, and I got fatigued very fast.
That's still a show I've never watched all the way through. I've only ever seen parts of episodes.
Well, watch seasons 1 to 7, and then just watch the last episode of 8.
Yeah, I'll probably never do that. I like that show for what it was, with like little random quips here and there. But short of that, I never really enjoyed the show too much.
Yeah.
It was a cult show, but like I didn't find it to be that good of a show.
But
just like another show.
Superstore is one of those cult shows as well.
Yeah.
It premiered on, I think, NBC or it was either NBC or like one of those channels that doesn't really get a lot of viewers. It was either NBC or City TV. It was either one of those. Maybe it was even Fox. I don't know. But it was one of those shows that premiered and didn't get a lot of traction, but Netflix got it. And it revamped the show. So, and if you're a Parks and Rec fan too, Parks and Rec is now on Netflix, so go check it out. Anyway, that's also I rewatched 2 movies last night: Coach Carter and Remember the Titans.
Oh, there you go.
Both fantastic films. Denzel Washington, fantastic. Samuel L. Jackson is fantastic. Like, great films. Even though I'm not a big sports fan, I do like sports films. So, what's been new with you other than me rambling on for about almost a half hour?
Absolutely nothing, man. Just been playing, working and playing World of Warcraft. That's it. Sorry, rewatching Hannibal again, but that's about it. Not much going on. Netflix? Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump into some news. So, first up, we have that GameStop phenomenon that happened 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
I think it's only like a week ago. I literally, I'm not even kidding you. Yesterday, I thought it was like going to be like, I thought we were 2 weeks into February already, and then I realized that it was only the fucking 5th of February, and I'm like, what is happening?
I felt like that too. I'm like, this is only the first week of February.
Yeah.
But you know what I forget sometimes? That February is a short month.
Yeah, it's only 28 days.
I forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's
I
like
thought we were. I thought we were already halfway done. I thought we were already halfway done, and then I was like, no, it's only the fifth. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Nope. Nope.
yeah. But anyway, back to this GameStop phenomena. So apparently, it's being made into not one but like two movies,
Mm.
and one of them is going to be on HBO from Jason Blum and Andrew Ross Sorkin. The new project is the latest several in development about the recent GameStop stock shorting situation, including a Netflix adaptation from Mark Bowl, starring Noah Centino. That's not right.
I
Um,
don't
the,
know.
the definite headline since late January as the failing video game retailers saw a massive spike in stock value after Reddit group Wall Street Bets intentionally inflated prices with widespread purchasing. The movement has been celebrated by many deserved grassroots attacks on Wall Street hedge funds and short sellers, so brokers who make money off of failing companies, though others have condemned Wall Street Bets for upending the market in dangerous ways. So this was going to be a documentary style movie or a movie in general. Um, like when like this happened because this is big. This is big. This was big news. Big news. A lot of people who had stocks in GameStop made a lot of money with that.
Yeah.
And I guess stocks can keep going up, but I'm not a stocks and bonds person. I don't know that. I don't know the lingo, the language of that. Um,
I don't know if even what they did was even illegal. Like, it's just like, hey, let's fucking buy GameStop. They're going under, and people are like, okay. And then the fucking price went through the roof.
yeah, yeah, and so like gamers like you probably wish you had some stock in that, and
Oh fuck yeah! Oh god yeah! I wish I would have known. I wish I would have bought someone with like $1.60. I would have spent like $1,000 on it.
yeah,
Knowing what I
yeah.
know now, fuck yeah! I would have been like, yeah, I would have spent $1,000 on it. I would have fucking. Ugh. I
Maybe
would be worried about money right now.
maybe when the documentary comes out, my mind will be more like, oh yeah, so that's how that works. Because right now I'm just like, huh? Because
Yeah,
I
no,
don't,
I
under,
don't. I don't get any of
I,
it.
I just know a lot of people made a lot of money who had
Yep.
stocks in that, but it's gonna keep going up for a little bit while longer, and then like all stocks, it will drop eventually.
Yeah, eventually one day. Yeah.
One day, eventually, it will drop.
I think it's,
Um,
I do think it is kind of weird they're making a movie about it. Like it's not. I don't know what's that crazy. Like
well, I can see documentary wise either way. Um, before, so the next bit of news is the MCU Blade. However, I want to rewind a little bit because I watched. I Derek didn't watch this because he doesn't have Disney Plus, but I have Disney Plus, and I watched the new episode of WandaVision,
yeah.
which it was a slow start. Episodes 1 and 2 were like, it's like I get it. You're a sitcom based MCU Disney Plus show. I get it, but like this is painful to watch. And then episode 3, still like, okay, you're going somewhere. You're getting there. You're getting there. And then episode 4 happened, and I'm like, hey, this is not episode 4 is not Wanda at all, but the side character you met when she was about yay big, and you were doing this. You don't see me doing my yay big because we're voices in your head.
Yeah.
So she's yay big, but now she's like an adult named Monica Rambeau, whose mother was a friend of Captain Marvel. Anyway, and she founded Sword. Anyway, after episode 4 premiered, there's a lot of theories about this is how they're going to introduce Fantastic Four in the MCU by
Mm.
having them be a team of Sword. Anyway, and then they released this new episode. Oh, so there's a big anomaly in Westville, New Jersey. There's a big anomaly that WandaVision has created, and she's created a sitcom world in Westville, New Jersey, and it's kind of cool. Not really, because all the people that live in that side of New Jersey are like, "What is happening? She's controlling our minds. It sucks." And she's like, and she's kind of in mourning because like, and by the way, Vision is totally alive and well.
Yeah, she brought him back. Yeah,
she brought him back to life. It's not like she made him
yeah,
up.
Sorry,
in her head.
spoilers. Yeah, she brought him back to life. By the way,
No, like she broke into Sword, who kidnapped the body because the Sword was going to use him as a weapon. So, and she kind of stole his body from Sword, and then took it to this Westville, New Jersey, and restored him to life. And now, so he's like, I don't know. Bill sent us something. Anyway, he's back and anyway, and he doesn't remember anything previously to WandaVision, to move previously to Westville.
Yeah.
And anyway, so there's this big anomaly, and it kind of maybe tearing through the fabric of space and time, maybe. As we know, there's many. Anyway, there's many multiverses with the MCU. Now episode 5 was released, and it did kind of, episode 5 was released on yesterday, and it's now at a good pace. We're now getting to a good pace. Things are starting to unravel. Because now it's more focused on the people outside of Westville, trying to kind of snap Wanda out of her kind of craziness. And so Monica gets this drone, flies the drone in. She sees Wanda sees this drone, kind of goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And she kind of tears through. Anyway, there was a cameo in the last episode, and he came at the end, and he's gonna be more than just a cameo, and that was Pietro, Wanda's brother.
Yeah.
However, Pietro in the MCU was played by a different actor, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who was Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
In a previous film, who was Kick-Ass in a previous film. This Pietro is played by Evan Peters.
Yeah, who played Quicksilver in the Deadpool movie. No, X-Men movies.
Yeah, he played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, but he was also Aaron Taylor Johnson's best friend in one of those MMA movies.
Yeah.
No. Evan Peters was Aaron Taylor Johnson's best friend in Kick-Ass.
Okay.
They both starred in Kick-Ass together. He was, anyway. So Evan Peters plays Quicksilver, Pietro, in the X-Men Days of Future Past, I think. No.
I don't remember which one it is. I think it is one of those ones, though.
Yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
He wasn't in First Class. He was just in the 3 after that. But now Evan Peters as Quicksilver is in the MCU now. And the girl who Darcy, the girl Natalie Portman's friend from the first Thor, is now back as well. So she says, and I quote in the last episode, she says they recast Pietro. And no, they didn't recast him. However, Wanda has the bigger power. Like, there's theories on the internet that Wanda is going to be the MCU's version of Jean Grey. She's going to be the MCU's Phoenix.
I think she's way more powerful than Phoenix, actually. But
they actually confirmed the theory. They confirmed the theory in the last episode that Wanda could have taken down Thanos like that.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that though. They didn't even need to confirm that. Everyone knew that.
No, because there was an argument where Jimmy Woo is like, Wanda could have totally beat Thanos, and then the one girl it's just like, well, Captain Marvel came close,
No,
and
Captain Marvel like never would have came close. Scarlet Witch is the only person that could stand with Thanos, like one on one.
they kind of did a nod to Scarlet Witch because this one military guy was like, "Does she have any nicknames?" And he was like no, because Wanda's called Wanda in that. But anyway, so Pietro Evan Peters has broke the internet. It's been all over TikTok. Like everybody's just like, it's like, oh, look who it is.
That's the only reason why I know about it. Because of
Here's
TikTok.
here's a theory though, and a theory, and everybody's like now blurting out theories that that's not the Pietro from the X-Men movies. That's Mephisto. Now Mephisto is the MC is Marvel's Lucifer, is Marvel's devil. Um Keyboards, because Mephisto can look like anybody kind of thing.
I feel like someone like Scarlet Witch would immediately see through that. Like it wouldn't even be, you know.
Yeah, but also she could be like caught off guard because thinks she thought her brother is dead. But I kind of more so say that it is Pietro from the X-Men universe because they're doing this big multiverse of madness movie with Doctor Strange 2 and
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 that there is going to be, and this is all going to be caused by Wanda, and it's going to all tie in.
Yeah.
But now the X-Men is part of the MCU, and they just made it official in this last episode of WandaVision.
Then again, actually, no, you'd have to actually think that it actually very well could be because the place she's in, she's mind controlled everybody.
Yeah.
She's created everything that's there.
Yeah.
How would she not know that he was there? And how would he be able to get in? Right?
I have no idea. Yeah.
So it's possible.
And maybe Mephisto's kind of, because she's kind of going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Mephisto is kind of, because he's Marvel's Lucifer. And if Supernatural taught us anything, if Lucifer is a badass, he can do anything he wants.
Yeah.
He made in the comics, Mephisto made Peter Parker forget Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Because to save Aunt May. So maybe how this is, WandaVision is getting good. It's getting good now. It takes a couple of episodes, but now it's getting good.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Blade. So things are finally starting to move forward, and the following yesterday's announcement that Watchmen writer Stacey Kufor has now been tapped to write the Blade script for the long-awaited movie. The official title now has been reportedly revealed as to be Blade the Vampire Slayer. The lengthy title, which oddly is reminiscent of another famous vampire hunter, Buffy, has likely been applied in order to differentiate Marvel's take on the Daywalker to that of popular Wesley Snipes-led franchise. Very little is currently known about Blade the Vampire Slayer, with Oscar-winning actor Mahershala Ali the only actor attached to the project so far. Ali has been pushing the roles for years now, with the actor keen to rejoin the MCU following the standout performance as Cottonmouth Stokes in Marvel's television show Luke Cage. While plot details remain unknown, Blade the Vampire Slayer will likely reset the franchise and tell all new adventures of the part vampire, part mortal man who becomes a vampire hunter to protect the human race. This is kind of like, I kind of dig how Blade is coming out because it's kind of MCU, the Marvel's different take.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go darker. It's going to go dark now. It's not going to be like, oh, it's not going to be all jokes, and it's going to take a dark turn because Blade is a vampire, or he's half vampire.
He's born a vampire, yeah.
He's half vampire, half human. That's why he can walk in the day.
Yeah.
That's why he's the Daywalker. So it's gonna be badass. And Mahershala Ali is a great actor. Freaking, he won an Oscar.
As far as I'm concerned, Wesley Snipes is still my Blade, personally, but he'll
Yeah,
probably do a
yeah.
good job.
Oh yeah, I think he will do a great job. I think he will do a great job. And like he was great as Cornell Stokes and Cottonmouth Stokes and Luke Cage.
Yeah,
He was the villain in season 1. So, which, yeah, this is going to take a Marvel in a different direction.
yeah.
And what I'm hoping, so I don't think Spider-Man 3 is going to do this, because I think Spider-Man 3 is going to be that multiverse movie, but along with Doctor Strange 2. I'm hoping Doctor Strange 2, and what he should do, I saw this in an article, I didn't post it though. Doctor Strange should merge all the universes together, because he
I think
has that ability.
I think that's gonna happen in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, he's going to merge all the universes together, just like how the CW did it in Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah.
The Arrowverse did it in Crisis on Infinite Earth. But yeah, anyway. Anyway, so Blade's coming shortly. No news as yet. Our next bit of news: Transformers has a working title. Paramount Pictures is ready to reignite the hugely popular Transformers franchise, and now some new details have come to light regarding the studio's approach. Creed 2 director Stephen Capel Jr. Was recently tapped to helm the project, which has reportedly been given the working title that should fill Cybertron aficionados with excitement. Transformers Beast Alliance. They're making Beast Wars, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally.
Sources have revealed that Transformers Beast Alliance will take place in the Bumblebee timeline and will be set in the 90s. The Bumblebee movie was set in the 80s. This one will be set in the 90s. The film will have a flavor of heist film. Have a flavor. Let me try that again. The film will have the flavor of a heist film that will span from Brooklyn to South America. The studio is reportedly looking to cast an African American or Latino actor in the lead role, with the character said to be in his early to mid-20s. This will also feature a female co-lead who will be the same age or slightly older, with the actress they're looking for able to pass as a native New Yorker. So Beast Wars is coming. Beast Wars is coming. No longer will Optimus Prime be a gigantic truck, but now he will probably be an ape.
Yeah.
Because Optimus Prime in Beast Wars was an ape, and Megatron was a Velociraptor.
Which is going to be interesting. I think they have to change a lot of things, but because most of the Decepticons were dinosaurs, so
yeah,
not really going to be able to do that in the 1990s. That might be a bit weird for people.
Yeah, and then like you have Bumblebee. He's not going to be a bee. He's not going to be an insect, but he's going to be probably like, I think he was a cheetah.
Yeah,
yeah, I think he was a cheetah in that series. But this is kind of cool for 90s kids like us.
Yeah,
well, I mean, we're 90s baby. Well, 90s babies, early 2000s kids.
yeah. I mean, it's another Transformers movie. Like I thought they were done, and I also thought they were going to continue with the last movies and bring their fight to Cybertron, but no.
Well, that's what the thought was.
And Galacron.
And then Bumblebee came out, and like everybody's like, Bumblebee is way better than any Transformers movie that Michael Bay did. And like, honestly, it was okay.
It was okay. It was. I don't know if it was better than like Dark Fate or Dark Side of the Moon or shit like that, but
like after
Revenge of the Fallen.
After Transformers 2, I was kind of done with the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
And then they made a fourth one, and then they made a fifth one. And I'm like, can you just stop? Like,
yeah.
But then Bumblebee kind of revamped the franchise with they had with John Cena, and I forget that actress's name, but she's kind of been in everything too.
See,
Um,
I liked The Last Night and Age of Extinction. Like, I thought they were both great movies. I was hoping they were going to go further with it, but they didn't.
um, yeah, I think they thought they were going to go forward with it too, but I think they just
Yeah.
couldn't. I just think Michael Bay left a bad taste in their mouths. And then
The thing is,
Bumblebee,
they can't argue the movie's made a fuckload of money, so it's like, you
and then
know.
Bumblebee came out, and it felt like more of a Transformers movie because they made it based in the '80s, where Transformers toys were huge in the '80s. So
That's the thing, though. Like, both movies had, government. Oh, God. Government trying to kill Transformers. Oh, no. Transformers becoming friends with government, helping government out, and then the movie ends. That's all the Transformers movies. That's all they've been.
yeah,
I think Bumblebee didn't do anything different. It just looked a little better,
but
I
like
guess. Like, I don't know.
Bumblebee, Bumblebee was like a start of a universe movie. It wasn't just like it's like here's every Transformers you love. It's like Bumblebee was kind of like if they like bump Transformers was like the Avengers. Bumblebee was kind of like Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
guess.
saying? Because Bumblebee, it's just like because they wanted to build a universe movie out of Bumblebee, and it sounds like with this new Transformers movie, Beast, what did I say?
That's the problem.
Beast.
They're not building a new universe because Bumblebee is tied directly into the first movie, first Transformers movie. It's
It's a
not.
well, I guess you could say it's a prequel to the first Transformers movie.
No, it is. It legitimately is because at the end of the movie, Bumblebee becomes a Camaro, and that's the Camaro that he finds in the first Transformers movie.
Okay, good point.
It's directly tied in, so it's like,
This is also going to, but this Beast Alliance movie is also going to be tied in with Bumblebee. So I
but
think they're slowly
the thing is,
revamping.
the thing is, it's not going to be. I can't be on Earth because then what they just did in that first Bumblebee movie completely is null and void when he became a Camaro, and then Buddy bought it. Shia LaBeouf bought it in the first movie because if this Beast movie is on Earth, it's not going to work because that means all the fucking Transformers were there already before they came in the first Transformers movie. Like,
Well, I don't. I think they're trying to like that Bumblebee was a prequel, but I think they're trying to like revamp the Transformers movie that first came out in 2007. I think they're trying to revamp them all.
well, it's not even revamping it; they're going to completely rewrite it because that means that Optimus and everybody was already there in the '90s instead of in the first movie when they came crashing to Earth.
Who know?
Right?
Who know? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this
It's
is gonna. I
yeah.
don't know how this is gonna happen. Um. So speaking of why can't I hear myself?
I don't know.
So speaking of well, we spoke of Blade the Vampire Hunter before we started talking about Transformers. Anyway, um, Blade's main villain is Dracula.
Yeah.
However, and Dracula is the the Prince of Darkness, the most famous vampire,
The first vampire.
the first vampire. Of course, if you watch Supernatural, you know that's not right.
No. No.
Because he wasn't from Transylvania. The first vampire wasn't from Transylvania. He was from the United States.
Yeah, well, and he was also made by Eve.
Yes.
So.
But anyway, back to my point. So Dracula is getting a sci-fi western made. Golden Globe nominated filmmaker Chloe How is that how I pronounce it?
I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know.
Chloe, who directed Nomadland, which is up for like I think Best Picture this year.
Might be Zhao.
Is
I don't know.
Zhao?
Zhao.
No, yeah, is teaming up with the Universal Pictures to develop a Dracula movie with a sci-fi western twist. Zhao will be very heavily involved with the project as she will be directing, writing, and producing the movie through her production company Highwaymen. So we're getting a new take on Dracula. We're getting a new take on the Prince of Darkness in a Western sci-fi kind of way.
Fun.
It seems like this would be a great anime. sci-fi. I'm. It seems like it would. It seems like it has some anime roots to it. Like
I thought they did an anime about Dracula, I swear.
yeah, it sounds like an anime, a Western sci-fi Dracula. Like it sounds like an anime.
I'm straight up pretty sure they already did this. I can't remember what the hell it was called though. Oh, Castlevania. Yeah, they literally the anime on Netflix called Castlevania. Like,
Where he's a where he's wearing a cowboy hat and everything.
no, but he's in Transylvania and shit. He's doing
Uh,
Dracula things.
but like a sci-fi western. It kind of almost reminds me of what was that Abraham Lincoln? It almost seems like it would be like Abraham Lincoln versus vampire kind of movie.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. It seems like it will be a kind of movie like that where it doesn't like just it's just
Well, I mean, that
Abraham
movie was
Lincoln.
also like out of his mind. Like that was a weird movie. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it seems like it will be in one of those movies like that where it's not really like there's not really like a huge plot point, nor will there be like sequels after this. It would just be a one and done movie with a lot of shenanigans inside the movie.
yeah.
Um, and like Dracula has lived a long life. He's immortal. He so he could have at one point gone to the United States in the 1800s and become a cowboy,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
and then kind of live. I don't know how they're gonna make it sci-fi and western though. Those are kind of I mean, like, I don't know how they're going to do this, but it seems like it will be a fun time. And this is going to be a direct segue into, you know what's not a fun time?
Mm.
Uno, the movie.
Doesn't sound like it. No.
Uno, the famous family card games that you lose friends over, will serve as Mattel products to get a movie adaptation. Grammy nominated. Now this is where it gets bad. Grammy nominated hip hop artist Lil Yachty.
The who?
I don't know.
Who the hell is that?
I have no idea. Is eyeing and starring in the role in an Uno movie that is in active development. Little Yachty, Yachty, I
I
think
don't
it's
fucking
Yachty,
know.
will also produce the movie with Mattel and quality controls Kevin Coach K. Lee, Pierre P. Thomas, and Brian Shear for Quality Films. Executive producer Robbie Brenner and supervising producer Kevin McKeon will oversee for Mattel Films. Word is Mattel is developing a movie as a live-action heist comedy with Marcy Kelly writing the script. It will be set in the underground hip-hop world of Atlanta and be set in a setting that has attracted Yachty to the project. It I don't know. This seems like it will be
Oh, this is gonna be horrible. This is gonna flop so bad. Like,
it'll
it's like
be
a movie with
like
Uno. What the fuck?
it's gonna be a flaming dog turd on some man's doorstep.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's. I think this is so dumb. Like, why would you even think this is a good idea? It's fucking Uno. Like what the fuck?
Like,
the hell's around with you people?
Well, like I know what it's gonna be. The Uno cards are gonna be magic, and they're gonna break into a bank.
Yeah, they're gonna like +4 the money or something like that. And then they're like,
oh.
then they're gonna show up and the cops will be like, we're gonna arrest you, and then he's be like, reverse card. You
and
arrest yourself.
Reverse backwards in time.
It's gonna be so fucking stupid.
It's gonna be so dumb, so dumb.
I kind of want to watch though.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch.
It'd be so stupid, like.
And then like they have to say Uno at some point.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the game of Uno, when you're down to one card, you have to say Uno, or if you don't say Uno, you have to pick up more cards. So, and then there's gonna be a plot point where like I gotta get rid of the cards, man, but you can't get rid of the cards, and you know that's gonna happen in the movie. The cards are making me do stupid things.
Like, you know, shit.
My God, it's so dumb. It's so. What is next? Monopoly the movie? Well, that's actually called.
I think that. Yeah. They also made Jumanji, so.
Yeah. Then like a Ouija movie came out not too long ago.
Yeah.
And like Risk, the movie, is just any war movie.
Yeah, pretty much. That's yeah.
And like, what other board games I have? Not nothing. I just have not safe for work games.
Yeah. You don't really have any games that are like for the children that could be made into a movie.
I used to like chess the movie or checkers the movie. Like that would just be a medieval war movie.
Yeah.
Chinese checkers the movie, same thing. Chinese medieval war movie. But yeah, flaming pile of dog shit. Uno the movie coming to a theater near you whenever that happens.
Some point, yeah.
And our last bit of news: Universal Monsters Dark Army. Now, whenever someone thinks of the cinematic universe, the first examples come to mind: MCU, DCEU. But Universal Studios was making an epic crossover movies all the way back in the 1940s, with such titles as House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, showing their list of monster icons clashing on the big screen. Now, filmmaker Paul Feig plans to resurrect that genre of monster mashup movies with Dark Army, which is set to feature classic Universal monsters and some new ones. And I got a quote from him: "Oh, Dark Army, I love the project so much. I think the studio thinks it's a little too expensive. Perhaps God as my witness, I'm going to make that movie. I'm so obsessed with making that movie. One of the many reasons why I was drawn to doing this current Netflix movie is that there's a lot of stuff I can work out on. There's a lot of stuff I can work out in it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as effects and all that, I can bring to Dark Army. I love it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever written. It's one of my favorite led characters I've ever come up with. So fingers crossed that will be made someday. So yeah, I Universal Monsters, right on. I'm not a big horror movie fan. I'm not a big horror movie fan. However, I do like the monster. I do like Dracula, Mummy. Like I do like those iconic horror movie characters.
Yeah.
And this would be great for a different take on a horror this would be a different take on a universe movie.
Yeah.
Because like we're so used to seeing MCU and DCEU. I know they tried this a couple years ago with The Mummy with Tom Cruise, but that didn't turn out well. And the only reason why that didn't turn out well is because they were like, "Oh yeah, let's make this a universe movie. Yeah, let's make this a universe movie." And they were too focused on the sequels to actually focus on the first movie. So
Yeah. I personally like that movie, but yeah, they introduced like way too much shit.
yeah, so yeah, anyway, so that's gonna hopefully come. I know they were slowly, like the Invisible Man came out like last year, and that did well. And
Yeah.
and he's part of that universe. And I know Dracula was supposed to come out, and like and there's gonna be a Channing Tatum movie that's gonna be possibly Frankenstein that's gonna come out. Channing Tatum's possibly gonna be Frankenstein, and which I think he would be perfect for the role because Channing Tatum is a good-looking actor. He's a good-looking guy, um, who has to do with a modern take on Frankenstein. And
I think it's gonna be weird, but yeah, they already did a movie called I Frankenstein a few years ago.
yeah, and so I think this would be a fresh take on a universe movie.
Yeah.
That it won't just be MCU, DCEU. It won't just be that. Maybe we will get the Dark Army one day, and we will get the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, and all their rest of their friends. And that is the last bit of news for this podcast on today, February 6th, 2020. Speaking of on this day of February 6, 2020, let's get into some on this day. Um, today, hold on, I gotta on this day in film and TV history. I usually have this queued up already, but I lost it.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a lot.
Nothing. The French Connection came out in. The French Connection won the 29th Golden Globe in 1972. Drummer Buddy Rich plays the influential performance at the top of the plaza in Richmond, New York, later to be televised by PBS. Yeah, not a really lot of happening. A lot of happened on radio, though. Also, singer Frank Sinatra debuts on radio Your Hit Parade in 1943. Yeah, and that's pretty much it because, yeah, not a lot happened on this day.
As far as games stuff goes, crap all happened today. But Monday, like February 8th, will be 22 years since the first Mario Party came out on the N64.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Go away, ad.
I get one. I don't want to get an N64. I'd like to play Mario Party. Yeah, I'd like to play. I want to play Mario Party.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can get if we can find a. I'm sure you can find it on what's that? I'm sure you can find that on eBay or Amazon or.
I think you can get like a mini one or whatever one, right? I think there's a mini one you can get.
Yeah, but I don't think that really has anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
On it. Anyway, with on this day done, the news done, we are now finished with another episode of A Brew for Two. If you want to follow me or Derek, you can follow us on any social media devices at a gingerfin92. And Derek is
at King Derek on everything.
You can also follow the podcast if you would like to follow the podcast. At A Brew for Two at A Brew for Two podcast on Instagram, at A Brew for Two on Twitter, and just simply type in A Brew for Two on Facebook and you'll find us.
Yeah.
And the plugs are now done. And with that all said and done, we are finished. So take care, guys.
Hopefully we're in person next week.
Yeah. Hopefully we're in person next week, and I have my mic all set up and ready to go. Yeah.
There you go.